And we're back!
Hey.
Hello!
So, sorry for those of you who are hoping to hear what our thoughts were about ketchup. You're gonna hear it now. Ready, DJ?
Ever tried ketchup on a hot dog? It's pretty alright.
Hey, you were the one who insisted putting ketchup on it.
Should have put that jalapeno ketchup on it.
Oh, God, no! No!
Leo smiles cheekily.
Wouldn't bother me. I'm the spicy Latino, remember?
He rumbles some.
The look on your face when I could barely...
Oh my.
Wow! You want to start squeaking?
No, I'm saying it!
Okay.
I'm saying it!
Okay.
The look on your face when I could barely fit in the bun.
Now my cheeks are absolutely burning. Man, you jerk.
Whose idea was it again? Okay,
Now you should squeak for certain.
now
That's
I'm
not gonna be
squeaking.
fair.
Sorry, now I'm squeaking.
Well, we'll say you're lying with squeaks.
Oh, whose idea was it again? Squeak, squeak, squeak. Squeak, squeak.
I mean, you could have
Concession
put the
stand,
last
squeak.
half.
No, I said
Okay.
squeak, squeak, squeak. Concession stand, squeak, squeak.
Oh, okay.
Weak is a really uncomfortable word for me.
You just
Wow.
said it,
Sort of simple
Wow, I
word.
can't believe you would say something like that, DJ.
honestly.
But concession stands, they're just dirty by proxy.
Oh. It's not my fault you don't know how to properly wash.
Eh? Says Mr. Muskie himself.
I let out a large puff of air. It feels like when we were a couple.
Oh gosh, they were bad for each other.
And that's the scary part.
Yep.
My mind reels back to Leo's confrontations with Flynn these past few days. His violent behavior. I take a step back, clearing my throat. And let's just dance, okay?
I hear ya.
We continue on, and it feels like just an hour passes. Alright, so that's the end of the dance. Boop, 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 boop. And as I promised in the last episode, we are still going to go through and see the other dances.
Oh,
It is kind of fun seeing Leo as like chill and not possessive.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah,
it's happy, right? Like
at least at this point.
it's nice to see him not bad.
Alright, who do we want to dance with next? TJ Jenna, Carl, or Daxton?
I definitely want to dance with Daxton, so I want to save him last, unless...
Okay. So then, should we do TJ and Jenna? Because it looks like Matt's still deafened.
Yeah. Yep, he's eating.
Ah, okay. I'm not sure if it's exactly safe to drink out of a bottle with a broken top, but I might as well try. I said that line last week, but it's fine. The cuts in my throat will make the alcohol work quicker, right? As I walk up to the two, Jenna already has an amused look on her face. Hey guys, do you wanna...
Sure, please.
Jenna swaying her hips, arms above her head, with her paws swirling in slow circles. She's sort of like a...
She puts her hands up, they're playing her song.
She sort of looks like a less body belly dancer. TG, meanwhile, is keeping things pretty basic with clutched fists, letting his shoulders roll to the rhythm. Oh, cool. I feel a bit put on the spot, both of them looking to me to see what sort of moves I'll pull out. I know I'm mostly gay, but I try not to get too feminine with dancing, especially with the girl involved. I also do like that he refers to himself as mostly gay since he's bi but like a 5 on the Kinsey scale.
Mhm.
I tend to mainly use my feet, pivoting in place and two-stepping from side to side while rolling my waist. I'm not exactly in tempo with the music, but it's the best I can do.
We missed you the past few days, Chase.
Thanks, TJ. I think I'll be spending some more time with you guys for the rest of the week. He smiles cheerily. Even Jenna looks pleased.
Sure would drew you to spend the week with Flynn after what he did. Though, I could guess.
Oh!
She gives me a sort of knowing look. I exhale. TJ may be naive, but she sees right through me, doesn't she? Always has. Don't worry. That's over. She dances closer to me, even placing her paws on my shoulders for a while.
Oh?
I guess I was just hoping that there was something more to him, you know? I mean, beyond the tough front he puts up. I was stupid.
Yes, you were.
Jenna says this rather matter-of-factly. She glances over at Leo, who appears to be in the midst of doing what I believe is known as the lawnmower by the grill.
But I get it. He has this genuine he has this genuine
It's okay.
This moment.
You're switching some words, but it's fine. You just go through with how you feel best to say it.
Okay. Alright. He has his moments of genuine sweetness.
No.
Are you still there?
No.
I am.
Alan?
The second I heard DJ start to freak out, I have an assumption about what's happening. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pause. Alright, we're back from, oh wow, I've heard myself. Alright, we're back from whatever my internet decides it wants to do during the times where it's dead.
Yay.
Whenever you're ready, Jenna.
Okay. Yep, those are almost always surprising outliers from the norm. Girls all over the world fall for guys like him because they think they can change them. That's not how it works.
What are you guys talking about?
DJ moves closer, his ears twitching some as he tries to listen in over the music. Jenna pats him on the shoulder.
Flynn and Chase are not getting along.
Oh,
She does a slight twirl, leaning close to me.
Chase.
Oh,
Did it
Did we
die
lose him
already?
again?
possibly.
Wow.
I can't do anything.
hey, Alan?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Nope. Yep.
Papaya!
Alright, we're gonna pause
Oh, yeah.
again. It's recording now, and we're back from my internet constantly shitting itself to death.
Okay, I will
Who
get
gave my
right.
internet dysentery.
Oh man. Alright, I'm gonna get back to it so we can try to get through as much as
Yeah,
possible.
go for it.
Alright. Chase, why don't you... God damn it!
Jen tumbles to the ground, seething. Oh, Jesus! I'm sorry, Jenna! Leo starts his rendition of the garden hose and perks up.
Garden hose.
Oh, it's yours.
You kids alright? My gosh, he really is giving dad vibes.
Chase stepped on my foot and I twisted it. Hurts like hell, but I'll be okay.
Oh no, here, let me help you to the table. Please. Please don't. Doing that voice sometimes makes me swallow in the wrong tube. I'm like,
Oh, okay. For a second there, it sounded like you were like choking on cat hair. You're like,
that also could be a very plausible thing because of Bob. Anyway, please don't put any pressure on it just yet.
Finnick grits her teeth as she wraps an arm around TJ's shoulder and hops along to the table bench. Meanwhile, I'm standing here like a jackass.
We have Mr. Sports Medicine here with us this afternoon.
TJ smiles some, looking apologetic, despite having done nothing wrong. Carl gives TJ an ice pack, and everyone gathers around. No one's dancing anymore, and it feels like an hour passes as we tend to Jenna's injury. I believe that they do get to talk a little bit after this, but we'll go ahead and rewind it. But one of the things I wanted to point out from that dance scene that I think was interesting is that didn't it seem like Jenna was making some moves on Chase in some capacity?
Yes.
She was hitting on him.
I felt that. I was
Closer and
like,
closer, and like
She's like about to suggest something to Chase.
having those sexy Fennec Fox hips closer to him.
He's like, Chase, why don't we? And then that's whenever he stepped on her foot.
So I'm going to remind you guys of something that I thought was very interesting to note about the friend group and its dynamic. Jenna and Chase are actually the ones with the longest relationship of the entire friend group.
oh.
Yeah, that's right.
Because Jenna and Chase met Leo.
They were friends before Leo.
Yeah.
Leo came in and then got the rest of them to be part of the friend group, but it did start actually with Jenna and Chase, not Chase and Leo.
And it's kind of fun in this dynamic to see. So, like,
Back.
you know, like to keep the group together. And it's been fun in this one to see, like, Leo just kind of living his best life, you know, recognizing Chase doesn't like him like that anymore, and just, like, dancing and trying to keep the group together, and, like, cooking hot dogs for all of them, and, like, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He still has tension, right? Like, he'd love for Chase to still like him, but he's not... Like, he doesn't bump in when Chase is dancing with TJ and Jenna and go, "Why'd you pick them, not me?" You know, like that kind of thing.
Well, how about we
Although
dance
we
with
did
Carl?
see him yesterday go really... Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, DJ, you should learn not to talk over me!
The music turned...
Alright, we'll be back. Alright, we're back from my internet continuously dying. Someday I'll have better internet. That is not today, though. Carl, you ready to dance? Matt,
Yes?
you ready
I'm
to
back.
dance? As Carl?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not sure if it's exactly safe to drink out of a bottle with a broken top, but I might as well try. The cuts in my throat will make the alcohol work quicker, right? I walk over to Carl, who's putting relish on what appears to be his third tofu dog. He looks up, offering a quick nod.
Hey, dude.
Hey, man. Wanna dance? Carl looks at me with pure deadpan. He says nothing, his face completely devoid of expression. His eyes are vacant. I match the expression. We stare at each other like this for about 15 seconds before Carl breaks into laughter. I do too.
That's real funny, dude.
You know, I was actually kind of being serious. The ram flubbers his lips, rotating on the bench so that his back rests against the table portion. He pats the spot next to him with his large paw.
How about we just let the physically fit have the dance floor?
I take a seat beside him, quirking an eyebrow. Are you saying I'm not physically fit? Carl reaches over, taking my broken bottle and replacing it with a fresh whole one from the cooler.
I'm just flattered and shit that you're taking after my example for body goals.
Oh my god.
You're even doing the facial scruff thing. Chase, man, be honest with me. Do you believe you were born in the wrong body? That you actually should be a heavy-set, cloven guy with horns? I know some forums that'll help you.
I look down, holding my slightly bulging stomach with my paws. I'm good for now. I glance back up, catching sight of Carl's eyes. Wait, are you not high right now?
Nope. decided to stop mixing my downers after last night. Also, was hanging out with Daxton, and he kind of seems like the straight edge type. They don't let dirty druggies into Ad Astra's Star Academy.
I'm glad you're taking your duties seriously.
God, dude. Remember when we were
Aw.
into LARPing? Like, we watched all those videos of people doing it online, and we were so down.
The memory flashes back into my mind. Carl getting his parents to buy us a bunch of foam board and fabric from the department store. We started making our own swords and stuff. Oh yeah, whatever stopped that?
I think you discovered what gay sex was.
Oh. I frowned. That was about the time Leo and I started dating, wasn't it?
Oh.
Leo appears to be in the midst of doing whatever is known as the lawnmower, while TJ and Jenna dance together by the grill.
Yep.
I'm silent for a moment, not sure what to say. So I say the only thing I can think of. I'm sorry.
For what?
Carl turns, setting down his tofu dog and looking at me. For ignoring you after Leo and I got together. Carl's brows raise ever so slightly. His lips purse and he looks down at his hooves.
Oh, nah, it's fine, dude. I get it. I don't really compare to that.
He gestures up to Leo, who is now doing what I think Flynn once called the garden hose.
If I had a super hot girlfriend, I'd ditch your aquatic ass too.
There's a slight teasing tone to his voice, though the fact that it's only slight concerns me. Carl. He waves dismissively, putting on a placid smile. As we sit there in silence and drink, it feels like just an hour passes.
Aw. Dude, why is Dax just so damn good for Carl? I love it.
Oh yeah. Genuinely,
Like, Dax-
Daxton's one of the better people for Carl to meet.
Like, they, like, nerd out together, and they, like... And, like, Carl gets Dax out a little bit more, but Dax, like... Dax makes Carl feel safe without being high. Like, it's great.
Mm-hmm. I genuinely hope, like, in some of the other routes that technically... I know it's not likely for them to have met in the other routes, but I kind of wish, like, that in some of the other routes endings where Carl... like, it's a good ending over, like, Carl eventually gets to meet Daxton, because they do seem like they are very good influences on each other.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so this is the one we want to save for last.
Personality-wise, they're kind of the two best dudes in the game.
I don't know, I feel like Kudzu still has number one spot.
Do best, boy.
Kazoo.
I'm not sure if it's exactly safe to drink out of a bottle with a broken top, but I might as well try. The cuts in my throat will make the alcohol work quicker, right? Daxton still isn't dancing. He's sort of just standing around and shifting his weight from foot to foot. Out of all the people here, I know him the least. Maybe in this circumstance, that's for the best. Plus, to hell with it. I'll admit it. He's cute in a kind of slimy, geeky way. Maybe I just have a thing for reptiles and amphibians. I mean, last night I squeaked Flynn in the squeak of a squeak in aquariums and dolphins, and we're not talking about that anymore. Jesus, Chase, don't get ahead of yourself. I try to unkink my tail, and myself, and approach the tall salamander by the grill. He looks at me with a half smile. Hey! Seb, you still here? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Want to dance? Daxton quickly looks off to the side, then back to me. He leans forward, speaking only so I can hear.
You're worried about the evil X? I mean, the not evil, not technically your ex?
I try not to look defensive.
Hey, no.
Dancing with someone is not always some sort of romantic action.
Oh, sorry.
He smiles sheepishly.
Like I said in the car yesterday, I'm new to parties.
Hmm.
This is kind of cool.
This is nothing. Just a gathering of a few friends. You should see some real parties, like the ones up in Pueblo.
Or the one you saw with the dolphins.
Are the ones with the dolphins?
He lets out a sharp, amused breath before taking a drink, seeming in reaction to my wide-eyed expression.
Mike was telling me about what it was like back there. I took 2 separate showers when I got home after that.
I don't blame him.
I rub the back of my neck and manage a slightly wry smile. Hot or cold?
Funny.
He exhales from his slid nostrils.
Remember, I'd like to talk to you later. But for now, I don't mind dancing with you, Chase.
You don't mind? Daxton smirks, shaking his head a bit. As we begin to gyrate our arms and legs in a manner that can be loosely interpreted as dancing, I can practically feel Leo's eyes on my back. Garl makes a joke in between bites of tofu dogs, but I'm not really listening. It feels like just an hour passes. Alright.
It is 10,
It's about 10.
Yeah,
but I don't know what qualifies as a half
I
hour.
think we only have 15 minutes of actual recording.
Sick.
Considering
Probably
how
alright.
often it crashed, so let's just keep
Crashed.
going.
Alright.
I peel a bit of wallpaper off of the mantle with my thumb. With all of the furniture, the place looks much older than it actually is. I managed to get in by unlocking the front door with one of my credit cards. The deadbolt never worked, and I guess my parents didn't fix it after I left town. Everything kind of smells faintly familiar. Just dustier, and without my mom's burning cinnamon incense that seemed to be a constant feature of my childhood. I rest my forearms against the windowsill and let my eyes lull a bit.
Oh.
Naked!
Why am I shirtless? I don't know, maybe because I'm seeing my otter friend. Otter.
What, you're telling me you don't
Ugh.
get shirtless around your friends?
No! What?
No,
No!
Obviously you don't. It was a dumb
I
joke.
can drink salad, but a couple of us really can't.
Exactly.
maybe if I'm at a pool?
I mean, if I want to show off my back piece, maybe.
Are they going swimming, maybe? You know?
I mean, they are in a desert. It is spring break, and it's roughly 90 degrees.
Spring break, so you know. Why would there not be shirtless wolves on spring break?
Whenever you're ready for your lines.
I said it. Otter.
Okay. Leo smacks his paw to either side of the window, looking up at me from the outside with a pleased expression on his muzzle. Jesus, man! I blink. Why are you shirtless?
Because fan service?
Leo pulls back some, crossing his arms over his chest. He rolls his shoulders, a sort of indirect shrug.
Well, it's getting hot. Especially with all that moving around and grilling.
I give him a dubious look. Yeah, you're a hot dog, all right. The red wolf responds with a delighted smile. I harumph, trying to change gears a bit. You're not, like, self-conscious or anything? I mean, isn't, like, the height of football season for you... Like, oh, okay. I mean, it isn't like the height of football season for you anymore.
Rude.
Yeah.
I figure if I neg him enough, that he'll eventually, get over me.
Good lord.
I flick my gaze toward his stomach. Leo's demeanor cools, though he keeps smiling as if trying not to let that one set in too much. He points up toward my chin.
Do you dye that?
What, my goatee?
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. He lets out a little humored grunt.
Huh.
What?
Seems like a lot of work for a little scruff of hair, yeah?
I frown, pushing back from the window. Leo seems to stiffen some.
Hey, I'm just kidding. You also just called me fat. The least I can do is knock on your stupid fucking goatee. You look, you look very good. Seeing you dancing and all that takes me back. But you are different.
He pushes his tongue against the roof of his mouth, Leo's eyes darting from side to side as he tries to find the right words. I haven't seen him like this since we were younger. I wonder if his English has been getting worse without us around. His family only really speaks the native tongue at home, and I imagine it's the same at the shop he works at. Thanks? I'm honestly not sure how to respond to that. What am I doing that's so different?
I can't explain it. You're just like you used to be. Just less?
I feel a sinking sensation within my chest. Leo suddenly snaps his fingers.
Mellowed out. That's it. Like a nice wine.
Listen, Leo, you said you want to talk, right? Because if your big point is that I'm not a complete spaz anymore, I'm already aware. Leo furrows his white-ridged brow.
You never were a spaz, and I was getting to that.
Ace?
I spin around and see the familiar salamander standing anxiously behind me. Oh, hi.
Hola, scooter guy.
Leo leans past me and waves.
Hey, got time to talk, Chase?
Alright, so this is actually a very important choice here. We have
Oh,
to
fuck
choose...
this. I can't talk to both of them?
You
What the
cannot.
hell?
Chase makes a
Shit.
promise to talk to one of... He promised to talk to both of them, but he can actually only talk to one of them at this point.
That's... I'm
That's
mad.
it.
I want a
That's
good
it.
conversation with both of them. I feel like this version of Leo is the guy I really want to talk to, but I also really like Dax.
That's great.
I will let you know that there's benefits to talking to either of them. Neither is the wrong choice.
I hate you.
I know, that's what's pissing me off. I can tell they're both good choices.
Gosh, can we save and at least see what both of them will lead to? And
Yeah,
I think they're
totally. I do want to at least run through the scene 2 times. I do want to say, though, that this one actually has long-term consequences beyond this.
gotcha.
So we
Okay.
gotta
So-
choose which one we're gonna finally do.
So, I will say that later on, during the actual time where shit gets real, you're gonna see 2 different versions of Leo depending on which choice you pick here.
Oh lord.
And there is extra scenes for Daxton if you pick a certain choice here.
So personally, I want to talk to
Yo.
Daxton.
No, because I feel like if we talk to Leo, we're gonna see, like, we're gonna finally be able to see, like, mature, over-chase Leo.
I
I still want to talk to Daxton.
yeah, like
But if we talk to, but Dax is such a cool dude.
yeah, like, and I feel we'd probably be able to like flesh it into his character or flesh out his character a little bit more. Yeah, I think flesh out is the term. Flesh out his character a little bit more if we talk to him,
Who, Dax or Leo?
Daxton.
Something.
But yes, I'm like,
All right.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm conflicted.
I want to see a mature Leo so bad.
So,
We were getting...
here's what I'm thinking that we could do. We can go through this with the one that will not have the extra scene for Daxton first, and then I can come back around and show you the one that has the extra scene for Daxton when we get to that scene. Does that sound good?
So that way we get to see mature Leo, and we get to see...
I didn't say it was mature Leo. I just said it was a different Leo.
Different Leo, so
But there's the thing with Leo occurs over more points rather than the one with Daxton.
ah,
It's a singular scene versus
Yeah, the one with, if we pick the one that focuses on Leo and the consequences for Leo, that has a much more overarching effect versus the one where Daxton, where there's one big scene that occurs for him.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think we should do? Bob!
Honestly, I'm good either way. I think that the one that would probably be the most interesting to watch in the future for people would be the one where we pick the one that gives Leo more minor changes. And then we can come back for the Daxton scene. But the other option is we can focus on the Daxton one, and then I just explain what would have been the differences for Leo and the alternate version.
Gotcha. It seems...
Either way, I do want to show you both versions of this scene tonight.
Hey, Bob, just
I'm
because
on
you knocked over your
TV.
food container doesn't mean I'm going to feed you.
Because I've been enjoying the version of Leo we've been seeing in this route. And it's been nice to not have Leo be a dick.
Yes,
Okay.
now that... It feels like it would almost be easier to do, like, to go through Leo's... Well, easier / like what you're saying, interesting to go through Leo's.
Because, yeah, like I said, it's just one big major scene for Daxton, though Daxton's a great character. I agree with that.
Yeah, but how it's organized, it sounds like it would actually probably be better to go through the route that Shane...
It'd just be easier for recording purposes.
Yeah, so I'm actually I'm gonna vote for Leo as well.
Okay. So then, would you guys like to see Daxton first, then?
Yeah.
Yeah, did I save? I saved, right? I did, okay.
You'll save again, okay.
No, I did save already.
Food, baby.
Alright, so my response is, fuck off, Leo.
Great. Thank you.
Chase?
When I turn back, Leo's smile has grown more tight, though he tries to play off his reaction.
Chase? I've been meaning to talk to you about some things. I just...
Leo lets out a large breath of air, checking his phone.
Fucking Pops, man. He doesn't care whether or not it's my day off. Family helps family.
Leo mumbles a few inaudible swears in his native language before looking up at the two of us. He seems to think for a moment.
I'll see you guys later. Chase? We're gonna talk.
Right. I give him an awkward thumbs up, thinking in the back of my head, no we aren't. He nods, turning and making his way offward. Daxton pushes the tips of his fingers together, trepidation upon his face despite his initial request. I'd offer you a seat if this house still had furniture. He lets out a small puff of air, looking around and seeming to acknowledge his environment for the first time.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
right. Carl told me grew up here.
Yeah. The place isn't as old as it looks, by the way. I think my uncle just really dug the whole prairie aesthetic.
I'm admittedly a wee bit done with that theme at this point.
Growing up in Colville, no surprise there. It's like... I tried to find the right word. A facade of a town. Daxton nods slightly, not about to protest that. He turns, walking past the doorway and into the foyer.
Indoor windows, though. Whose idea was that?
What? I follow him. Daxton points to the teak-boarded windows. Surprisingly, none of the glass has been shattered yet. Oh, somebody left?
Sam left.
Ah, okay. Oh, well, obviously not mine. My parents enclosed a part of the porch when I was like 10. They left the windows, though. Daxton nods as he paces about the room, the floorboards creaking beneath his unpadded feet. And careful where you walk. I wouldn't doubt junkies shoot up in here. That stops the salamander, The blue-eyed fellow shifting his gaze back to me.
Right. Good idea, that.
He sniffs.
So,
I lean back against the back wall after a cursory glance, making sure it's spider-free. Daxton says nothing. In fact, he just keeps looking at me. A sense of unease begins to tickle down my spine, and I'm reminded of TJ talking to his cats from last night. The way Daxton looked at me in the car as we drove home. He didn't say much the whole ride, thankfully. At first, he asked about my lack of shirt, but after I didn't respond, he kept pretty quiet.
I had a dream last night. Can I tell you about it?
I feel a mixture of relief and awkwardness. Sure. Daxton's mouth pulls into one side, his face contorting into a sort of sheepish half-smile.
Well, it wasn't truly like a dream or nothing of the sort I'm familiar with. Dreams are the sorting and categorizing of happenings of the days of the subconscious of the mind. You know how they are? Where the sky never looks quite day or night, always some sort of violet or reddish dusky setting. You always have limited control of what environment surrounds you. Again, mainly subconscious level. In the dream, if you're worried, then you'll have a right to be worried. Like a self-fulfilling prophecy or what have you. Fearing that a bad thing might happen to a loved one, a bad thing will happen to a loved one. Afraid that something scary might be in the room, then something scary is in the room.
I look around briefly. He gesticulates in a swirling motion to get my attention, shifting to digress.
It's why the stressed, the traumatized, and the guilty get night terrors more than anyone else.
Daxton lets his hands fall to his hips, his eyes trailing downward to the dusty boards beneath my feet.
Lately, I've been getting a lot of bad dreams, but ones that don't seem to, well, I don't know, suppose line with me? I'm doing things that I've never done, places I've never been, and that sense of subconscious agency is entirely absent. Like I'm in the pines and holding this rife.
Daxton? He looks up. No offense, but, where is this going? Daxton's posture seems to go a little more rigid, the salamander's nostrils flaring as he exhales. I'm beginning to think that Daxton is a lot weirder than I initially thought.
Oh, okay, I'm getting to it. Last night, after you dropped me off, I fell asleep in the recliner in the living room.
Okay. Avast, for some reason, decided to want to pop up and immediately give away my location. Fuck you, Avast, for trying to dox me.
What's a vast?
It's an antivirus system.
Mm.
Oh.
Okay.
It's like, did you know that your location's exposed? Nah, no shit, motherfucker. You just tried to put it in a recording.
Nice. Thanks, Internet. Shortly after, it felt like I woke up, but I wasn't in the house anymore. I was in some school computer lab I didn't recognize. You were there, except it wasn't you.
He clears his throat.
It was a different you. Younger, louder. Carl and Flynn were kind of standing behind you too, but they weren't saying anything. Sometimes I'd blink my eyes and they were there, and sometimes they weren't. I think words were coming out of your mouth, but I couldn't make anything out. It's like a waterfall was rushing behind me. I started to hate you. I couldn't believe I had hung out with you voluntarily. Like, the sight of you made my stomach hurt.
I blink, frowning some before opening my mouth to speak. However, Daxton cuts me off, continuing on.
There was something on the computer screen next to you that you kept showing over and over again. It was this other otter sitting in this bedroom with a big sports poster on the wall.
Other otter.
He was crying, staring at something in the corner of the room. Again, you were just playing with the same scene over and over again. Eventually, you just deleted it outright, and that made me pretty perturbed for whatever reason. Wanted to hit you, so I did.
Daxton sees the deepening frown on my face, and he smiles very slightly, though he quickly goes back to his more serious expression.
It's like I teleported across the room, and the next thing I knew I had grabbed and hit you, but your body had the consistency of loamy sand. You were crumpling and dissolving every time I touched you. Your fur turned gray and speckled, and your face didn't look like you anymore. Everyone else stared and started grabbing at me. I recognized Carl's arms, but there were a bunch of others. Even you somehow had a hold on me. No Flynn, though. Hell, I couldn't see him anymore. I remember calling for him, hoping he was back from that bar. Next thing I know, I'm on the bench.
A beach.
Beach. I'm just standing there, watching the tide lick at the sand beneath my feet. Then there's this...
Daxton pauses, crossing his arms over his chest. He moves across the room to lean against the wall beside me, staring ahead.
Well, it's just this... I don't know what it was. I'm thinking it was a face, but it could have been a weird-ass rock. Kind of reminded me of an electrical outlet. Everything just went dark and I was staring at the rock face, which was staring at me in turn. I was just stuck there in real time, staring at it for, I guess, around 20 minutes. Then it faded away.
Jesus.
After that, I was sort of fort-looking place. Lots of old-timey looking folk around this with this trumpet guy emblem everywhere. Kept asking the people around me where I was, but they'd always just shuffle away. I followed this one fox lady with a big old blouse on around the corner, and suddenly I was an Echo again. The sky was wrong, but it was Echo. I walked into my house and saw myself in the kitchen. Flynn, Carl, you were there too, and Asher was on the TV. There was this uneasiness in the air, because I was pissed about the whole computer lab thing. I wanted to tell you about it, but Carl for grabbing me, and Flynn for abandoning me. The other me for not being the real me.
The salamander rubs his smooth forehead some, then seems to realize something.
You didn't have a goatee either, which I thought was funny at the time. I remember saying, guess someone shaved off your goatee after all.
I reach up, pinching the excess scruff hanging below my chin, still there.
You just seemed confused about that.
I'm confused about that now.
Well, hold on. Flynn, Carl, and the other me just vanished at that point. I asked you where they went, and you told me they went outside to, and I quote, jerk each other off.
Wow. You've only known Carl a day. That's a bit forward.
Be quiet. You were completely different from them, you from the computer lab. Older for sure. Sat down and drank beer and reminisced about things I don't remember.
What did he say about Carl? I stepped away for a second.
It's just a comment about the dream Carl.
Okay.
I stopped feeling so uneasy and scared. It's like you melted away all the weird, bad shit that had happened prior. Came night that, and then you said you were sorry. I asked you why you were sorry, and you bugged me. It was...
The salamander presses his thumbs together, avoiding looking at me now.
the realest thing I felt ever in a dream. I could feel your heartbeat, the bristle of your fur, the fabric of your shirt everything.
He touches his own chest, then slowly curls his hand into a fist before letting it fall back at his side.
Told me that to forgive someone is to release a prisoner and discover that that prisoner was you. You let go of me and began fiddling with something. I heard Flynn laughing and turned around to see him walking through the door. Out of the corner of my eye, you began taking the bracelet off your wrist. You held it up in front of my face and...
Bracelet? Daxton shifts.
Yeah,
Did it have a little metal anchor attached to it?
I don't know. I couldn't really see because, well, Flynn was there, but it wasn't a dream anymore.
What?
He had just gotten home from the bar, didn't say 2 words to me, and beeline to his room. There was no bracelet, of course, because I was wide freaking awake. I'm guessing the laugh wasn't real either. Never felt like I was asleep in the first place, actually. But I'm left with feelings of it all, like, haven't you ever had a dream about somebody and felt completely different about them afterwards? I don't mean just, like, weird puberty sex dreams about your cousins or something like that.
What?
I furrow my brow some. Yeah, I guess, to the former. Are you saying you feel that way about me now?
I guess, hence why I'm talking to you.
I go quiet for a second. I'm still not sure how to feel. Huh. I don't really know what to make of it, Daxton. I'm not really the eclectic spiritual sort.
Me neither. That's the thing. I mean, I own a Dreamcatcher and a couple of new age albums, but who doesn't?
I raise my paw. Daxton looks at me, slightly rolling his eyes.
Didn't you say yesterday you had something similar happen to you, though? When you passed out at at our place?
I pause, then nod. Must have been the fishy cheese bread we ate.
You thought it had a fishy taste too, right? Told Flynn not to put his catches in the damn freezer on top of the other food.
Daxton sighs.
I don't know, Jace. Talking to you about it seemed like a better idea in my mind.
I gotta get going, guys.
Okay, well then have a
Okay.
good night, Sam.
Have a good night.
Annoyed.
I shake my head, waving my paw to the side. No, it's fine, really. I'm glad I'm not the only one dealing with this sort of stuff for once. Daxton perks slightly, looking me over.
For once?
Damn, I shouldn't have said anything. I hate trying to explain this. I drift my gaze to the cracked ceiling, staring at the hole where the brass chandelier once hung. I try to put on a nonchalant tone. I, have mental problems or something. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see Daxton cock his head toward me. Smooth. Like sleep paralysis, lucid nightmares, that sort of thing. Sometimes I don't have any problems with them, but as of late, I don't know. I try not to think about it too much, otherwise I get all insomniatic.
Man, that sucks.
They all know about it. I gesture toward the backyard. I can still faintly hear TJ chatting excitedly about something, with Jenna chiming in every now and then. At first, everyone thought I was making it all up to be special.
When did you start getting them?
I don't know. Around my tween years?
I used to get really bad nightmares around then. I watched some clown TV movie and it traumatized my ass.
Effed? Daxton looks over toward me, seeming to realize the need for clarification.
Tadpole.
Oh, cute. Daxton sputters out a dismissive noise.
I was not cute.
Well, neither was I. I was kind of a shithead. Daxton peers at me for a moment, before his gaze trails up toward the brown fur on my scalp. Takes me a second to register. I mean, regarding how I treated other people.
Gotcha.
I reach up, trying to make my head fur lay flatter. Daxton, meanwhile, reaches into his pocket and checks his phone. Neither of us says anything for a while.
I'm gonna head out, but thank you for listening and such.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. You gonna go home and do some writing?
I think I might. Either that or put on some new age music.
I'm sure Flynn loves that.
What sort of music does Flynn like?
I don't think he does.
What?
I don't think he listens to music, like, in general.
Who doesn't listen to...
I shrug.
Who doesn't like music?
I shrug. Someone like Flynn, I guess.
Makes sense to me.
He shoves his phone back into his pocket, stepping forward.
Hey, since chances are I probably won't see you again, I just want to say it was good meeting you.
I find myself smiling, in spite of the previous tone of the conversation. Likewise.
Thanks for introducing me to Carl. Never had a rich friend before.
You live in Colville. How have you never had a rich friend?
Hey, I didn't live in the ritzy tourist-packed part of it. Plus, I was homeschooled.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Shithead.
He grins some, and I can see the pink of the inside of his mouth. It's quite the contrast from the rest of him.
Feel a bit better now. See you, Chase.
Alright, so we can choose to shake his hand or hug him.
Hug him.
I feel like hugging him would freak him out.
Probably would freak him out.
Yeah.
You can still choose
I
to
guess
hug
she...
him.
I do...
I like him. I want to hug him.
I do...
I want to
Chase
hug.
shake his hand.
I want to hug the Dex. He's adorable.
Alright, I hear 1-1. Hannah, what's your vote?
Yeah, let's hug him.
Alright. Matt, are you
Yeah.
cool hugging?
Yes, all the hugs.
Alright, self-fulfilling prophecy, here it comes. Also, who just joined?
Is that...
It's a
Oh,
Yep.
Zach.
Zach.
Oh, hi, Zach.
Hello.
We're hugging a nerdy Trekkie salamander.
Oh, you don't...
That was too weird for Zach. Was that too awkward for you?
I'm pretty sure I am awkward, so...
Was hugging a salamander more awkward than you awkward?
I don't know.
You can always plead the fifth.
Or we can throw somebody under the bus, and I'm choosing Sebastian.
What?
Okay.
I mean, it is Sebastian's line.
Yep.
You're what come... Oof.
I move to embrace him with a bit more velocity than I initially intended, nearly sending the tall amphibian back against the wall. He lets out a bemused noise, patting my back. I return the gesture before pulling away.
Almost as graceful as a dancer. Almost as graceful a dancer as you are a hugger.
Ha!
Now, time to find Carl.
With that, he turns and heads out towards the backyard. Looking around, I don't see any sign of Leo. In fact, his van's no longer out front. I reach into my pocket, feeling my phone as a guilty sensation takes hold. I just know I'm probably gonna get a whole nother wave of passive-aggressive messages that I don't want to deal with. At this point, I probably deserve them. I can't keep dodging him like this. I notice something odd sitting on top of the water heater. Curious, I pick it up. Oh. I never knew Mom framed this. I mean, it was a shitty selfie I took my first day at Pueblo. She kept insisting I send her a picture of myself on my big day. For some reason, I thought not smiling or looking at the camera was the cool thing to do.
Heh.
I wonder if they forgot this during the move. Though, it kinda sucks. I wouldn't be surprised if they left it on purpose. I haven't talked to them much lately. I should go. I step outside. Alright, so I think we'll call it there.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Alright, say goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.